with the Muslim population exploding in Minnesota. A Minneapolis-born model and actress took notice after her state was introduced to an Islamic custom never before seen in the U.S. However, instead of lauding their cultural contribution, the witty blonde bombshell uttered 5 bold words that have Muslims across America outraged. Despite the left's stranglehold on Hollywood, every now and then a beacon of conservatism shines through the liberal smog to shed some much-needed light on their hypocrisy. Sadly, there are far too few in the public eye who, no matter how far right they lean, are willing to call out the violent and oppressive compulsions in Islam. Fortunately, one brazen beauty just delivered a subtle yet monumental blow to the misogynistic values of the Muslim community. Model Kelly Clarkson, who stars in hit television series Nip/Tuck, has upset the liberal agenda by using her Hollywood status to speak out against a primeval Islamic custom that has made its way to our shores. The 41-year-old celebrity took outrage at recent headlines reporting that several Muslim doctors in Detroit are suspected of performing barbaric and dangerous female genital mutilation, FGM, on more than 100 girls in the hopes of preventing them from ever receiving sexual gratification. Seeing that this savage custom is also plaguing her home state, Minnesota, with the explosion in Muslim migration, Clarkson took to social media to give a praiseworthy announcement. WND reports that Clarkson has taken it upon herself to lead the movement against FGM while boldly criticizing the left-leaning ACLU for combating legislation that would protect innocent girls from this sexual butchery. Clarkson focused primarily on Minnesota and Maine, where she has family ties, pointing out that the ACLU has made efforts to thwart laws banning FGM. Clarkson adds that Maine is one of the 8 states with the highest risk of FGM sufferers, according to End FGM Today. However, she states that there is pending legislation that, if passed, will criminalize this abuse. It is then that she slams the ACLU for opposing the bill while citing absurd excuses for not wanting children and women protected and their abusers jailed. Clarkson pleads with viewers to join her in supporting the legislation and exposing the ACLU for its protection of those who would inflict or encourage FGM. She asks supporters to call their local representatives in an effort to ban FGM nationwide. Incredibly, FGM is not a criminal offense in every state. Because the US wasn't introduced to this monstrosity until the Muslim population grew, many states weren't prepared to invoke the necessary charges against practitioners of FGM. Of course, Americans were educated on FGM when Jamana Nagawala and Fakhruddin Atta, 2 Muslim doctors established in Detroit, were making a living by mutilating little girls' genitals in accordance with Sharia law. Expectedly, Nagawala has invoked her religious liberties, claiming that the savage custom is a religious practice that is protected by the First Amendment. Sufferers of FGM are at risk of infections, difficulty urinating, long-term pain, mental trauma, complications during childbirth, and even death. There are absolutely no health benefits to FGM, and it is far different from male circumcision, as the latter isn't intended to reduce sexual performance in any way. Clarkson is quickly becoming a thorn in the left's side. In fact, she more than ruffled some feathers in a 2012 interview with Fox News in which she explained that she values her Second Amendment rights. Owning a firearm was life-changing for me because women for sure, but even men too can be in a very vulnerable position with no options if you have intruders or any scenario where you're being dominated physically, Clarkson said. A firearm is the only equalizer you have. It's crucial for people to look at it from a logical standpoint and take the emotions out of it because one needs to have that option to save them. While liberal feminists are standing up for those waging a physical war on women, conservatives are fighting to protect women from the misogynistic and oppressive compulsions of Islam. Please share the story and tell us what you think by clicking one of the buttons below. We want to hear your voice.